It has been 18 months and 21 days, or 567 days, or 13,608 hours, or 816,418 minutes since I sent my cards to Graded Gem to send to PSA. And today, after all that time, they are finally back! I can't believe it. September 2020, I sent 22 cards to Graded Gem to send to PSA, and finally, today, April 2022, they're finally back. So let's not waste any more time because I'm so excited to open this box and see what grades I got on 22 cards that I sent to PSA. Let's go. So here we go, guys. We've got 11 cards here and 11 cards here, making a total of 22. Now, you're probably wondering, I don't remember seeing a pre-grades video. That's because I sent these so long ago, way before I even started my YouTube channel. So the cards that are included in here are the 18 Southern Island cards, including that almost reverse holographic Mew, Togepi. Oh, what else? There's an Onyx and an Ivysaur and just so many other amazing cards within the Southern Island set. I also sent a gold Rillaboom and Frostlass and a Rainbow Cinderace because I sent these cards right around the time I started collecting again, and right around the Rebel Clash Darkness Ablaze time. So I just sent them along just to bulk the numbers up. So I haven't looked at these. No one's looked at these. They arrived this morning. Unbeknownst to me, they just arrived. They just turned up. I wasn't sure when they were going to turn up. So I'm just so excited. So let's start with the left-hand pile first. Pre-grade. I mean, I did get them pre-graded with Graded Gem. Most of the Southern Islands came back pre-graded, an 8, 9. There was a couple of 10s. There is one big card in this pile that I haven't mentioned yet that I sent off that was pre-graded an 8 or a 9. I can't imagine it's going to get an 8, let alone a 9. But if it does come back a 9, then it's quite a pricey card. So let's just start straight away. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's take a look. So I've got my trusty energy card here. Let's take a look at this first one. Let's turn this over and take a look what card it is. It is, okay, it's the gold Rillaboom from Darkness Ablaze. So this was pre-graded from memory from Graded Gem, a 9 or a 10. It was pack fresh straight out of a Darkness Ablaze pack. So let's take a look at the first card in this submission. And it is a 10, a PSA 10 gold Rillaboom from Darkness Ablaze. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, like, this is the first time I've ever held a PSA card. And I must admit, I definitely prefer the what's this called? Ace? Ace? I can't think what the name's called. Let me check. What's it called? Ace graded. There we go. So hopefully I've managed to cut that somehow. So this is the first time I've ever held a PSA card, and I can definitely tell you that I prefer the Ace grading case over the PSA. It feels thicker, feels more sturdy. PSA is a bit flimsy, but there we go. The first card in my submission to PSA is a Rillaboom Gold, a PSA 10. Absolutely outstanding. Okay, on to card number 2. Let's turn this around, see what we got. Okay, so this is the gold Frostmoth from Rebel Clash. Again, this was pre-graded by Graded Gem as a 9 or a 10, being a relatively newer card at the time of sending it off, and it was pack fresh. So let's take a look. Did this get a 9 or a 10? Only a 9 for the gold Frostmoth, but still an absolutely stunning card. Look how that gold and that just the outlining of the Frostmoth as you twist it there. So there we go, PSA 9 for the gold Frostmoth from Rebel Clash. Okay, now for the third card in the PSA submission. Let's take a look at what it is. It is the Rainbow Rare Cinderace. Again, I believe this is from Rebel Clash, and it is. So again, I just sent the Rainbow and the 2 golds because they were the 3 best pulls that I'd managed to grab myself when I started collecting again. So I just sent them straight to PSA. Looking back now, I probably shouldn't have sent them. I had a couple of older cards that I really should have sent at the time, but it's too late to go back now. So let's take a look at what grade this got. Before that, I'm pretty sure as the other two, it was pre-graded a 9 or a 10. And there we go. We got the PSA 10 for the Cinderace VMAX Rainbow Rare. Absolutely stunning. And funny enough, I still haven't pulled this card a second time. So this is the only Cinderace VMAX I have in my collection, and it's now stuck in a case. So I still need one for the actual folder for the master set. But there we go, Cinderace VMAX Rainbow Rare PSA 10. Okay, so I've just taken a quick look at this card. This is the card I want to keep till the end. I haven't seen the grade. I turned it over and just noticed the card, but we're going to leave that off to the side right there, and we'll be coming straight back to that, which means the last 18 cards that we have are all going to be the Southern Islands. I don't know what order they're going to be in, perhaps from the end to the beginning based on that, but let's just take a look at card number 4, and it is, okay, so this is the Primeape number 18 out of 18, so it looks like they're all in reverse order. So I believe all the Southern Islands were pre-graded a 8 or a 9. Some of them maybe, I think there may have been one that was perhaps a 10, but none of them were below an 8. So let's take a look at the first Southern Islands, which is the Primeape, and that is a PSA 9. Absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy. I mean, like, the chances of all 18 becoming a 9 is very, very slim, I must admit. But if they all did, that would absolutely be incredible. So there we go. Primeape 18 out of 18 on the Southern Islands collection, PSA 9. Okay, the next card is the Vileplume from Southern Islands. So this is the reverse holographic. And they weren't called reverse holos when Southern Islands was released, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, like, they look like reverse holos that we know of today, so let's just call them reverse holos. Again, pre-graded 8 or a 9. Can we get another 9 for the Vileplume? Oh no, only a 7 for the Vileplume. That is a shame. So 2 cards in, and we didn't even get to maintain that 9 streak straight away. Obviously, I believe, I mean, like, I tried to keep these as mint as condition as I could, being a child, but the problem is with these holographics, it's so hard to keep them scratch free, so I can only assume, I mean, it looks like there's possibly a scratch down that center there. Let's have a quick look. Nothing that I can see from my eye, but the camera seems to be catching something there. So there we go, the reverse holo Vileplume from Southern Islands, a PSA 7. Going into the next card is the Lickitung, so this must be number 16 out of 18. Pre-graded an 8 or a 9. Can we keep that streak going? Nothing below a 7. And it's an 8, a Lickitung PSA 8 from the Southern Islands with that lovely little Rattata in the background as Lickitung's climbing the tree. That you could just spot a tiny little eye from Venonat there. He's obviously growing up. He's obviously climbing that tree to grab some fruit or something. But there we go, a PSA 8 Lickitung from Southern Islands. On to the next card, we have the Wartortle there with the little horsey. I think he's spraying water onto, can't think. It might come up in the next card who he's spraying water onto. But here we go. Let's take a look and see what this Wartortle got. It is a PSA 9. There we go. 2 out of 4 PSA 9. We've had 1 8 and 1 7. But that is an absolutely fantastic grade. I'm over the moon with that. Graded gem. Based on their pre-grades that they made, they're doing really well, apart from that Vileplume, which obviously unfortunately got a 7. But there we go, Southern Islands Wartortle, PSA 9. On to the next card, and there we go, there's the card. It's Slowking with a Psyduck and Bellsprout in the background, so this is what Wartortle and Horsey are spraying water onto a Slowking. Psyduck there, just next to him, absolutely enjoying being sprayed. So after seeing that Vileplume only getting a 7, I'm a bit wary now on these reverse holographics getting maybe a slightly lower grade than they pre-graded. But let's take a look. So again, this was pre-graded an 8 or a 9 for a Slowking, and it's got an 8, so on par to what Graded Gem pre-graded. Absolutely fantastic. That is such a nice holographic. Not my favorite. I think my favorite is probably going to be the last Southern Islands card that we look at. Probably the favorite of everyone's, and that's going to be the Mew, but we'll take a look at that when we get to the end. So there we go, a Slowking Southern Islands near mint to mint PSA 8. On to the next one, and it is Executor there. So we've got a few Executor there, one cut off just slightly on the right. Pre-graded an 8 or 9. Let's take a look. And it got a 9. Absolutely fantastic. So as we can see, the holographics are getting a slightly lower grade than the non-holos, but that's absolutely fine. I mean, like, if hopefully we can maintain a higher amount of 9s out of the 18 cards than we can for those 7s. But let's take a look at the next one. So there we go. Executor Mint PSA 9 from the Southern Islands set. So here we go. We've got ourselves a Lapras number 12 out of 18. Let's take a look at the grade. Let's speed this up a little bit more because we've still got quite a few cards. And that, yes, there we go. That got a Mint 9 from PSA for the Lapras. Absolutely fantastic, with the little Dratini just beside her there. Absolutely fantastic. A nice Mint 9 for the Lapras. Next up, here we go. Another holographic, reverse holographic, whatever you want to call it. We've got ourselves Marill here, jumping out of the water with the magic cup there. This is what Lapras and Dratini are looking at. Let's zoom in a little bit more there so we get a good view of the Marill. Again, pre-graded an 8 or a 9. Let's see if it can live up to expectations. Ouch, another PSA 7 for the reverse holo Marill there. That is really, really unfortunate. I guess the centering itself is a little bit heavier on the left-hand side, so maybe that's obviously brought it down to possible 9, 8, but there must be some marks or something on the actual holographic of the card, because the back, looking at it myself, the back of the card looks absolutely mint. It looks fantastic, but something's definitely brought it down to a 7, which is an absolute shame. But it's just great to have this graded alongside all of the other cards. But here we go, a Southern Islands Marill near mint, PSA 7. Right, on to the next one. Let's speed this up ever so slightly. So here we go. We've got Tentacruel here with Dragonite in the background. More than likely some people's favorite card, just to have the Dragonite displaying in the background. But pre-graded an 8 or a 9. Let's take a look. And there we go. We got ourselves another PSA Mint 9 Tentacruel from Southern Islands. Let's move on to the next card. Here we go. So we've got ourselves a Butterfree. So we're on to the second half now, where the middle card is the holo rather than the first one. So we've got ourselves a Butterfree here, frolicking around in the fields, surrounded by a ton of flowers. We've got something just off in the corner there, which off the top of my head I can't really remember what it is. Perhaps a Pidgeot, but I think that might be another one of the 3 cards. So here we go. Butterfree PSA 8. Unfortunate on the Butterfree. A fan favorite. It would have been nice to have this in a 9. It was pre-graded an 8 or a 9, so it's right on par with what Graded Gem said, but absolutely stunning. I love Butterfree, and I'll be holding on to this card for a long time. And here we go. We got ourselves the Jigglypuff card, and already I can kind of see that this card is top heavy. I do have 2 sets of the Southern Islands, and I tried sending the best of both sets, and unfortunately this Jigglypuff was the better out of the 2. So although it's got the slightly bit of top heavy, I'm not expecting a 10. I'm expecting possibly a PSA 8. Yeah, PSA 8. I thought I said that wrong. PSA 8. And it got a 9, even with the top heavy centering. That is fantastic. Let's look at the back. Again, it looks really clean. Again, even there on the back, it's top heavy. So maybe everything else just matched up and it managed to just grab that 9. Absolutely stunning. So there we go. Jigglypuff with Dodrio, Weepinbell slightly in the background there. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, moving on. Here we go. So here is the first reverse holographic from the first 9 cards of Southern Islands. We've got ourselves a Ladybug there. You can see Jigglypuff's ear just in the corner there. So the holographic, I mean, like, if we can get at least 1 9 in the reverse holographics or holographics, I'm just going to say whatever pops into my head first. That would be great. Let's hope that we can at least get an 8 and not another 7. But let's take a look. It is an 8. There we go. So it's a near mint to mint 8 for the Ladybug. Reverse holo for Southern Islands. Absolutely fantastic. We're slowly creeping up to my absolute favorite cards of the set, so let's waste no more time and try and get to them nice and quickly. So here we go. We've got 6 more cards to look at. This is Raticate right here with Slowbro just poking his head round the corner there. So we've got ourselves a Raticate. It looks really nice from here. So let's take a look at what grade it got. It got a 9. Absolutely fantastic. Why are none of the holographic cards getting these high 9s? But there we go. Raticate from Southern Islands, a mint 9. There we go. Very nice. Okay, up next is probably my second favorite card. As you all know, my favorite Pokemon line in Pokemon is the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, so I absolutely hold a very special place for this Ivysaur card in the Southern Islands set. We can see Togepi, who we'll be seeing very, very shortly. So let's hope that we can get a nice PSA 9 on this Ivysaur. And it is a PSA Mint 9 on the Ivysaur, absolutely over the moon. If anything, I wanted, all the other cards could easily have got an 8, but this getting a 9 is absolutely over the moon. I'm so happy with that. There we go, a nice Ivysaur. So let's move on to who we can just see peeking on the side there. Right, so here we go. Here's one of people's fan favorites. This is the holographic Togepi. You can see Pikachu in the background there with a little Wartortle. We saw Wartortle just earlier. So a holographic Togepi. Do we see a little bit of holo bleed up this corner by shining it? I'm not sure if that's the case, but let's hope we can get at least an 8 for this Togepi. I'm really hoping we don't get that 7. Let's take a look. He got an 8. You know, for a second I thought it was a 9. I almost jumped up with joy. So there we go. The Togepi from Southern Islands, near mint to mint 8. Absolutely stunning. No swells that I could see. I know some people have managed to... Oh, actually, no, there is a swell. There we go. There is a swell right there in the center of the card. I must have missed that first when I was spinning it. But there we go. A nice near mint to mint 8 Togepi from Southern Islands. 3 cards to go. And here we go. So the third of the last cards is the Onix. You can see Dragonite very barely in the top there and a bit of Pidgeot's wings. Venonat has made a return there in the background. Onix, again, pre-graded an 8 or a 9. Let's see if we can get a nice PSA 9 for this Onix. Oh dear. Only a PSA 6. Excellent to mint Onix. That is really, really unfortunate. We managed to get a couple of 7s, but I really didn't expect to get that much lower. Okay, yeah, I mean, look, there is actually a nick there and a slight nick there, which I must have not spotted when I first sent these to PSA. I don't know if you could catch that in the camera there. So there's a nick just there, a very tiny one in the corner. That is a real shame. I might have to see if anyone else has got maybe a PSA 8 or a 9 on eBay to try and keep this card up to standard. That is a real shame indeed. Only an excellent to mint PSA 6 for the Onix. Okay, penultimate card for the Southern Islands set. We've got ourselves a Pidgeot here. You can see Venonat a little bit more clearly. We've got a bit of Onix there. And the card that everyone is probably waiting for from the Southern Islands set. But Pidgeot first. So pre-graded an 8 or a 9. Let's see if we can continue. Hopefully no more 6s or 7s. We got ourselves a 9 on the Pidgeot card. Get in. Absolutely fantastic. So this is the second of the Southern Islands cards. 2 out of 18. This got a nice mint 9. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the card that everyone is hoping to see. And here it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Mew card, number 1 from Southern Islands. You can just see Charizard flying in the background there, the left-hand side of Pidgeot. So if there's any cards, even like there were 6 holographic cards in the Southern Islands set, I'm really hoping that this Mew gets at least an 8 or a 9. If it comes back a 7, I'm going to be absolutely gutted. But at the same time, I'm not going to be too upset because I finally got these cards from my childhood graded. They're protected in a slab, never to be more damaged than they already are again. So I don't think I can see any swells on this Mew from what I can see. I mean, like I said that, the Togepi swell popped out on me last minute, but no, there's no swell on this Celebi. Did I say Celebi? How many times have I said that? Mew. There's no swells on this Mew card that I can see. So let's take a look at the grade of this Mew. And it is, unfortunately, a near mint PSA 7. Wow, I wonder what let this card down. I mean, like, the centering looks not too bad from my point of view. Yes, maybe the bottom is a bit thicker than the top, but we saw that on one of the other cards. And that managed to get, was it an 8 or 9 for the Togepi? Let's take a look at the back. I mean, like, I can't see... okay, yeah, there is very slightly white, a bit of white damage up here on the top, but nothing that would make it a 7. Maybe there are some really bad scratches on the holographic, but I tried to send the best of the 2 Mews I had, and unfortunately this one has come back a 7. What an absolute shame. Okay, so here it is, the last of the 22 cards that I sent to Ace Grading. I'm hoping I didn't mention this card or what this card was in this video. I may have mentioned it in past videos, so if you've been watching all of them, you may know what this is. But for people that haven't and are new to watching this video, then there's a reason I've left this card till last. Pre-grading, Graded Gem pre-graded this as an 8 or a 9. I'm really hesitant to say that this is going to get even an 8. I mean, like, if it got a 9, I'm going to be ecstatic and over the moon. If it got an 8, I'll be happy still. But really, I remember looking at the condition of this and thinking, man, if it gets a 6 or 7, I'll be happy. Because, I mean, like, I've had this card in my collection for a long time. So, pre-graded an 8 or 9, and bearded Nate grade 6 or a 7. So, let's firstly reveal what card it is. There we go. That's right. It is the Lugia from Neo Genesis. Destiny. My mind has gone blank. Put it up on the screen. But basically, it's the Lugia card from the Neo series. It's not first edition, unfortunately. So it is just the normal print. But I remember looking at this card thinking, man, I mean, like, look at that. I'm pretty sure there's scratches on the holo already. So it's already definitely not a PSA 10. I mean, like, there is some silvering at the top. Looking at the rest of the card, looking at the back. I mean, like, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe a bit of dirt up here on the top. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how Graded Gem thought that this was possibly an 8 or a 9. Maybe they were just trying to keep me happy. But let's take a look and see what the Lugia from Neo Destiny Genesis Revelation got. Oh, Graded Gem. Wow. So there we go. It is the Neo Genesis. There we go. So it is the Lugia from Neo Genesis, and it got an excellent 5. I mean, how Graded Gem thought that this is a possible 8 or a 9, I have no idea. They were really good with the gold and the rainbows and most of the Southern Islands, but I just remember looking at my pre-grade email saying there is no way this card is an 8 or a 9. If it's a 9, I'm sticking it straight on eBay. Because look at, wow. But still, I've got the card slabbed, I've got it graded. It did come back an excellent 5, which it was even worse than Bearded Nate's guess the grade. But still, an absolute stunning card to have graded and kept in my collection for a long time. So there we have it, guys. My first ever PSA submission, and more than likely my last ever PSA submission, because I'm not paying prices that they're currently offering now. Back then I paid, what, £10-15 each for these cards with Graded Gem. That option is no longer available, and I'll be sticking to ace grading for the foreseeable future. But there we go. I mean, like, we got some brand new cards. We got all 3 coming back at 10, so they're both the gold and the rainbow. We've got all 18 Southern Islands cards. Unfortunately, no 10s, a few 9s, a couple of 7s, and that awful 6 on the Onyx, which is just unfortunate. And then the creme de la creme of the order was this Neo Genesis Lugia holographic from an excellent 5. I couldn't ask for more. But there we go. So that'll be it for this video, guys. Make sure to tune in next week where we'll probably be opening some Pokemon cards. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.